Okay, today we'll study about reheat cycle. Okay, and in syllabus it is given about reheat cycle. Okay, then now see today we are going to study about the reheat cycle. So what is reheating? As the name itself indicates, reheat means to heat once again. Okay, now see here. Now in order to, if you want to increase the efficiency cycle, now in order to increase the efficiency cycle, what we want to do, we should see that the main what to say, the main component in the steam power plant is my water, that is my feed water. Now, and if you want to increase the efficiency, what is the working substance? The working substance is water, and what is the component is working, that is nothing but turbine. Now if I want to increase the efficiency of this turbine, what I should do, the inlet pressure and temperature of this feed water or this steam should be very high. Now in order to, if, and there is one drawback, if the pressure and temperature of this steam that is coming into the turbine is high, it means that the expansion ratio in the turbine will be very high. Now if the expansion ratio high means what, it will expand to the full extent, means the output that is coming out of the turbine will be wet steam. Now if the output of the turbine is wet steam, what happened to the turbine blades? There is erosion of this turbine blades taking place. Now wherever there is erosion of the turbine blades which is taking place inside the turbine, it leads to what? It leads to decrease in the efficiency. Now if I want to increase the efficiency of the cycle by without causing erosion of the turbine blades, there is one procedure which is known as reheat cycle. Now what we are going to do is, in this reheat cycle, I will show you the figure. Now see here, as you can see this block diagram, what they are doing, there is one superheater or a boiler, and there one turbine. There is two turbines there. One is low pressure, high pressure turbine, condenser is there. Now what happen if we are going to reheat is, now the heat that is, see, initially what we do is, you take this steam from this boiler, then from this boiler it will go to this turbine, from the turbine it goes to the condenser, from the condenser this condenser is pumped back to the boiler. This cycle repeats. Now what I am going to do in reheating is that, see, at process 1 to the steam that is coming out of the boiler is taken to the high pressure turbine. Now you can see there, at this point we are going to take some amount of heat from this turbine is taken, some amount of steam from this turbine is taken back to the reheater. See, you can see the diagram, it's taken to the reheater. What we are going to do is, we are going to take the heat from this steam from this boiler. Some part of the steam is expanded and some part at high temperature is taken back to the heater. Now what we are going to do in this heater, we are going to heat the, okay, now what we are going to do, some amount of heat from the high pressure turbine is taken back to the reheater. To reheat it, we are going to heat it to the at constant pressure till temperature 3 is reached. Okay, and the process again continues. So see here, what is the cycle TS diagram? The TS diagram comes like this. See, what is process 1 to 2? Process 1 to 2 as seen in the turbine is what? It is constant pressure heat addition. Here the heat is added in process 1 to 2. What is 2 to 3? Sorry, wait. In process 1 to 2, it is turbine expansion process. It is isentropic expansion in process 1 to 2. Now what is 2 to 3 here? 2 to 3 is a process where we are adding the heat. So see in the diagram, 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat addition. Then what? Again 3 to 4 is what? Again see in the turbine, there is 3 to 4 is expansion in the high pressure turbine. So 3 to 4 is high pressure expansion. Then what is 4 to 5? 4 to 5 is heat in condenser, where there is heat rejection process going to take place. So 4 to 5 is constant pressure heat rejection. Now what is 5 to 6? 5 to 6 again, you see, again we are pumping back this liquid to the reheater chamber, means what? 5 to 6 again constant pressure reheating. Then 6 to 1 as the process cycle also continues. So how many processes are there here? As you can see in this diagram, there is 6 processes. 1 to 2 is high pressure expansion, 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 is again low pressure expansion, 4 to 5 is constant pressure heat rejection, 5 to 6, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 is what? 5 to 6 is nothing but increase in the pressure. Then 6 to 1 is again constant pressure heat addition is going to take place. Now after reheating, what we are saying, that in reheating the efficiency of the cycle increases. Now see here, I want to calculate the pump work and turbine work. So for that I should know what is heat addition. Now see, heat is added where? Heat is added in the process 6 to 1 we are adding the heat, and 2 to 3 here we are going to add the heat. So what is heat addition is equals to what? Enthalpy at 1 H1 minus H6 plus H3 minus H2. Now where is the heat rejection? See, you can see that the heat rejection is taking place in condenser in process 4 to 5. So it will be heat rejection is nothing but H4 minus H5. Okay, now what is turbine work? Turbine work is nothing but H1 minus H2 plus H3 minus H4, because here there is heat addition taking place. Now, and heat is ejected in the process 3 to 4. Now this pump work. Pump work, as you all know, it is H5 minus H6 minus H5. Now what is net work done? Net work is nothing but heat added minus heat rejected. Where is heat added here? This H1 or WT minus WP. So H1 minus H1 minus HF6 plus H3 minus H2 minus H4 minus H5 is heat addition. Now after rearranging, I'll rearrange it. H1 minus H2 plus H3 minus H4 minus HF6 minus H5 or H6 minus H5. We know that H6 minus H5 WP. So network is what? H1 minus H2 plus H3 minus H4 minus WP kilojoules per kg. This is my network. Now what is thermal efficiency? Net work upon heat supplied. Network is nothing but H1 minus H2 plus H3 minus H4 minus WP whole divided by heat supplied. Heat is supplied in process 1 to 6. So efficiency will be what? H1 minus H2 plus H3 minus H4 minus pump work upon heat supplied during 1 to 6 and 3 to 2. This is nothing but your thermal efficiency in after reheating. Okay. Today and now once we will start with one simple problem. Today what we will do? We will see one simple problem in this Vapor power cycles. What is the given data? A simple Rankine cycle works between the boiler pressure of 3 megapascal, condenser pressure of 4 kilopascals. The steam is dry saturated before throttling in turbine. Determine the Rankine cycle efficiency, work ratio and specific steam consumption. This is nothing but the given data. Now see what is the TS diagram? The TS diagram looks like this, no? This is what? Saturated liquid line, saturated vapor line. Okay, see here you can see the TS diagram. This process 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 1. This process is nothing but the TS diagram. Now see here in the question it is given as 3 megapascals. You should know how to convert this 3 megapascals. Now what is 1 megapascal? 1 megapascal is nothing but 1 into 10 raised to 6 Newton per meter square. If I want to write in kilopascal, it will be 1 into 10 raised to 3 kPa, kilonewton per meter square. It doesn't say Newton per meter square, nothing but Pascal only. So it will be what? Kilopascals. Now how much we are having? We are having 30 bars, no? So 1 bar is 100 kilopascals. So I'm having 30 to 10 to 3 kilopascals. So it will be how many bars now? If I want in bar, it will be 30 bars. So your inlet pressure, this pressure is your 30 bar. Now it is given here. See here it is given that the condenser pressure is 4 kilopascals. 4 kilopascal is given. Now I want in bar. So I know that 1 bar is nothing but 100 kilopascals. So 4 kilopascal will be how much? 4 kilopascal will be 4 by 100. So it will be 0.04 bar. So initial this pressure will be, condenser pressure will be 0.04 bar. Now see, we are having two pressures. One is 30 bar and another is 0.04 bar. Now see, initial condition. Now 30 bar means what? The initial condition will be, the initial condition or the state of the steam will be saturated. Means see, at this point it is saturated point. It is not liquid, it is saturated point. Now see here I will tell you how to use the steam tables. Now see, you can get the book easily available here. Steam tables are easily available. Since I don't have, I am using this soft copy. I am using steam table by Kurmi. Now see here I want. Now see here the book look like this. So what I am using, in the question what is given? In the question pressure is given. See here, you can see here in this table 1 it is temperature tables. Okay, what is given in the question? Pressure is given. If temperature was given, I might have referred to table 1. What is given for us? For us in the question pressure is given. So refer to table number 2. Table number 2 which gives us pressure. Now see here, saturated water and steam pressure. Pressure in bracket pressure is there, no? So pressure tables is are. Now see here, this absolute pressure is given in bar. Always pressure should be in bar. Temperature is in degrees Celsius. Specific volume is there. Specific enthalpy means what? H. Specific entropy means S. Now see what is there in question for us. First there is, if I want 30 bars. Now here see, you can write it 0.04 bar. We have in question 0.04 bar, right? So 0.04 bar at that pressure. Or specific volume is 0.001 meter cube per kg. Means HF. See here, I have written the data here. You can see in the question. After referring to this table, you can first have a look on this table. At 0.044 bar means this point. 0.04 bar. How much is enthalpy? HF is 121.4 kilojoules per kg. HFG is 2433.1. Okay, like this I have. Okay, like this I have done. I have taken down the values for two different pressures. One is at 30 bar, another is 0.04 bar. See, I have taken down all the values. Fine, by referring the steam tables. Now see here, we know that. Okay, see on this how to say, at this TS diagram. One means what? It is at point 1 is super saturated point, saturated vapor line. It will be saturated vapor point, and this is 2. So S1, what is S? S is entropy. So you can see this S1 is equal to S2, no, because this line is straight vertical. Means what? S1 equals to S2. Okay, at this, what is this pressure? This pressure is 0.04 bar. So I have taken down the values of all entropies, enthalpies, specific volume. Now see here, H1 is equals to Hg. By referring to this TS diagram, H1 is equal to Hg, that is equal to 2802.3. At which pressure it is? At 30 bars. This is state 1. Now what is H2? See in the diagram. H2, what is this point 2? This point 2 is neither on vapor line nor on the liquid line. What is this point 2? This point is not on this line, it is neither on this line. Where it is in between. Means what? This region is of liquid plus vapor. Okay, here it is complete vapor, here it is complete liquid. In between it is liquid plus vapor. So I should calculate the dryness fraction, but it is not completely dry. I should find out how much percent it is dry or how much percent is wet. We can find out the values. How we can find out? See, H2 is equals to HF2 plus X2 into HFG2. It is a formula. So H1, so that is a formula, right? We don't have X2. So if I substitute this value, HF2 at which pressure? Down pressure is 0.04 bar. So refer to the values of 0.04 bar. Now to see now, as we know that S1 is equals to Sg, that is equal to 6.184 kilojoules per kg, and we also know that S1 is equals to S2. From steam table I has taken this value. So S2 will be SF2 plus X2 into SFG2. From this equation I can calculate the value of X2. Okay, X2 will be how much now? 0.7154. Once I get the value of dryness fraction X2, I can calculate the value of H2. How much will be H2 now? H2 is equals to HF2 plus X2 into HFG2. Add 0.04 bar. So H2 will be 1862.04 kilojoules per kg. Now what is pump work? See, pump work is nothing but V into dP. Specific volume to change in pressure. I have already told that from data from steam tables, at pressure 0.04 bar, V will be 0.001 meter cube per kg. What is P1? P1 is 30 minus 0.04 bar. This I am converting into Newton kilojoules per kg, so I am multiplying into 100. So I will get 3 kilojoules per kg. Now what I am having? I am having what? Pump work. So I should calculate the efficiency of the Rankine cycle. So we will continue this problem tomorrow by calculating the Rankine cycle.